right, guys. This is Willie B, and we are back again with a short session of Pocket Dialed. Have my man Easily here again, and we're going to talk some RZB, and we may touch on APFL Week One, but this is going to be hopefully one of the mini casts that I wanted to do. But we are just finished up Week Five in RZB, so that's what we're going to discuss in this episode. Easy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. These have been fun, Willie, both to watch and to participate in. So thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no problem at all. And I'm sure it is fun looking at your Steelers, who are the lone team at 5-0. No
It,
surprise
it
in my mind.
I really like this team that I put together. I'm not saying that it's as good as the team I built in APFL, but it really has some pieces and players in the right positions where I love this team. So
Mhm.
I'm not saying I'm going to go undefeated, but I really think that we should at least make it to the conference championship game. To be honest with you, but the AFC and the RZB is loaded with talent, both in teams and GMs. So it's never easy.
Well, that sounds a lot like APFL though, but I have to I guess I have to agree with that. Um, but looking at your scores here, had two bookend 40-point games here, week one and week five. Man, you guys are putting up some points, that's for sure. 171. Yeah, that's yep, tops in the league. Man, that's impressive.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're hitting our stride right now. I hope it's not too soon, but our passing game is humming, and that's what I'm really trying to focus on. There are a couple adjustments I want to make. I need to get Anderson involved a little bit more, and I'm still getting more, you know, uh, passes thrown to my running backs than I would like. I don't want any going there, um, and I'm still getting a couple here and there.
mhm.
But overall, if you even look at my stats, you can see exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm not hiding it. I haven't said it before. I was going to pass, pass, pass. Now, unlike some of the people that are all pass, I do mix in a little bit of running just to keep people honest, right? But
Hmm.
I'm going to win or lose with the pass.
Yep. Yeah, you got your two top backs splitting carries. They both have 40. That's unlike, these pass happy teams. They usually don't do that. Let's
Yeah,
see. Third and points. You still have 110 rush yards a game. That's kind of impressive. Depending since you're saying that you're really not trying to run necessarily, but I like that.
a
Um,
lot of that is the game taking over at the end, though, too. I'm sure because my goal is for us to be to have a decent lead from the passing that we won't have to worry about that, right? So
mhm.
um, I don't want to. I'm pass first. I'm not pass only. I think there's a difference.
Yeah.
Um, so
So you
I
got.
uh,
Mhm.
I know I just want to rely on my skill players to win or lose games.
Yeah, so just saying, Switch Sellers is on pace for 19 receiving touchdowns.
Love that guy. Love that guy. I took so much grief about making him a wide receiver, and I feel so justified. I feel so
Hmm.
validated in that move. Um, but yeah, I love that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, he's on a
And
tear.
in all honesty, you'll see a direct correlation with our success of late, with him becoming the focal point in our offense. Um, and that actually was a result of the bowl game that I lost against the Cowboys, and I lost Paul, I believe, going into that bowl game, and really focused on Sellers. And I would have had another guy. I think I could have won that game, but um, anyway, it just kind of made me think about things a little bit different. And he's a cool
Mhm.
guy, 5'7", short guys, love him.
Yeah. So switching gears to the other end, I know we talked about this briefly before, and we were talking about the Kansas City teams, but I want to say we also talked about the Chargers in both leagues, about the struggles that they've had most recently. But so the Chargers here are starting out, they're 0 and 4. Um, I'm not sure if you paid that much close attention, but they're in your conference, so maybe you have. What do you think is going on with the Chargers?
I think it's a combination of a couple things, right? I think, and I have followed them mainly because I'm 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 going to follow Duncan's career really close, obviously, because I wanted him bad.
Hmm.
And just looking, at a quick glance from what I remember, I I just think that some of that's dice rolls, some of that's youth, some of it is just. I mean, he lost. I think he lose a game 6-9 or something like that, or 7-9. I
Yeah,
mean, he
six to
lost
nine.
one,
Hmm.
and I think Simon said he's only had 35 points. I don't see that being the case all season. I think some of those, and I haven't looked at his logs or got really involved in
Hmm.
it, but just seeing the talent that's on that team, or with the competency of Zulu as a GM, I can't see them, being a top 5 pick again. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, Duncan's going to be a beast. They scored 6-3, 16, had the bye, and then scored 10 against Miami.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I don't know. They're gonna be a fun team to watch and to see what happens. I I sure as heck hope for his sake he doesn't end up with, the top pick for a third year because I'm certain um people will be, poke and say, hey, you're tanking, you haven't won, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Hmm.
And I don't think that's the case. Don't people say, hey, you lose. I don't see you can usually snuff out tanking pretty easily, even though it's hard to prove, right? I mean
Hmm.
that's an oxymoron, but and I guess I lean on the conversations I had with Nick about tanking in the past, and how to truly identify it. And I shouldn't even say truly identify, but some of the things to look for and think about that maybe to the casual person that may go over your head in regards to too many formations or just doing some unorthodox things.
Yeah.
You can't have all 1-1-3s, right? You know what I mean? You
Right.
can't
Right.
just you know. Um, so just those little
Yeah.
things. I
Yeah.
haven't seen
I've
it. I
got.
looked.
Go ahead. Hmm.
No, I looked at the Chargers, especially after you go two back to back, and I didn't have anyone comb the logs but I didn't see anything that stuck out. I don't think Zulu would want to do that anyway because he's like me in regards to being pretty prideful about stuff. You know what I mean? And his skill set and drafting prowess, and so I don't think he would do that. And
Right.
you know, I don't think honestly, I don't think anybody in our league would blatantly tank. But that being said, I mean, there is a way that you start the guys you need to develop and so forth, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
You got to give people an ability to build their team, and so it's a fine line,
Yeah,
right?
no, I was just curious about that because I know we had mentioned Kansas City, but I'm pretty sure we had mentioned the Chargers only because um, Swing Dog has the Chargers in APFL, and with their recent struggles, I do believe we had touched on that, so that's what I was curious about.
Yeah, no, the Chiefs, on the other hand, in that division are an interesting team. They're 2-3. When they're playing 19-10 football, as
Hmm.
Simon likes to say. But it works. And once again, I don't have a problem with extreme game plans simply because, I think that, figure a way to stop it, or beat them,
Right,
So
right. And then the other team that's struggling before we move on to another NFC team that I want to talk about is the Saints. They're
Oh,
also, yeah, they're 0-5. They've been struggling the last couple of years. Um, Curious what you think they need to do other than find a quarterback, obviously. And
well,
I
I
want to say
think
they just traded one in the division to Atlanta, which is
well,
also a little surprise, but
Nem needs Tua, right? He needs to find his RZB version of Tua. Um, but yeah, he definitely needs a quarterback, and it looks like he's on pace right now to put himself in position to be able to draft one at least if he continues the trend and not having your starting QB or the QB that you came into is good indication that I don't want to say that's the plan, but that's where they're headed. And I guess this is a great example of why you got to give GMs the autonomy to guide and direct their franchise, right? I mean, he needs a
Mhm.
chance for the reboot. He needs a chance to build it up as he sees fit. Quite to be honest with you, though, I Nemesis is a fantastic GM. So I have been shocked of the struggles he's had in the RZB because I'm not mistaken, he won 4 straight titles in the sci-fi, right? That was the money league. That was the league where
Right.
people were playing for blood, doing some
Hmm.
crazy stuff. So for him to do, 4 in a row anywhere is tough. Like I've never seen that anywhere else or some people. And I know, well, I guess Ryland's one, but I wasn't in a league, so it doesn't
Hmm.
count.
Well, I mean, he's got 3 80 rated players on defense, and he's got the stud wide out. So it's and obviously he loves the tight ends. So Surf wasn't playing too bad this season, not off to his turnover fest that usually happens with that offense. But I was a little surprised. But if you can get a first for a guy that's not necessarily ideal of what you think is going to be successful, then why not? So I can see it.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree, and you could make sense. Interdivision trade is always tough, but
Hmm.
that also says, hey, I believe in myself, and it's not going to be that big of a deal, right? I can
Right,
make it work. So
right.
um,
And
I,
so,
I
mhm.
no, I was just saying, I think Surf can be successful, in Atlanta too. So I actually think this has the potential to be a win-win for both franchises.
Well, when they're both in my division, so I'm really I'll be interested to see how that turns out. But
Ah.
moving to another fun topic, let's move on and talk about the Rams for just a sec. Yeah, let's talk about the Rams for just a sec. They started out 4-0, had a little bit of struggle when they had to go out to play the Giants. And I just saw, yeah, so the quarterback comes down with tobacco withdrawal.
See, this
So,
is the type of franchise that Brian runs. It doesn't surprise me being so closely associated with the Seahawks. Of yesteryear and trying to follow, the playbook, Nick's playbook. Um, but no, just teasing. Brian, he's a great GM, and I have a lot of respect for him, and I love to poke fun with him. But you know, it's obvious he knows what he's doing and he knows what he wants to
mm,
do with his team. But that being said, I wouldn't be shocked if he lost 13 games in a row and went, right exactly what I said.
yeah.
4-12.
Now, is tobacco withdrawal, is that a season ender or is that just a flat 17?
Honestly, I'm not
A flat.
sure.
Yeah, I know I
I thought that could be
posted.
up and down, right? I'm not sure about
Mhm,
that one. That's not one you see a ton either.
mhm.
Um,
I tried to post, and I can't remember exactly what league it was, and I was trying to get like all of the unknown injuries to see exactly how long those were, but I cannot find that thread anywhere. I've been looking for a while, still can't find it, but I'd like to get that back so that we kind of know like these unknown injuries. What what weeks can we expect? I know like the hamstring is usually around 10 to 12 weeks maybe. Um, but I was just curious about that tobacco withdrawal, how long that actually lasts, or if it, can extend to the next season.
Yeah, I'm not the person to ask about that one, unfortunately. In fact, it's funny, when Nick was still in the league, I would always, oh, hey, how long is a knee strain? And, I mean, I'd ask him, or
Hmm.
with this XYZ, what's the percentage of my guy getting hurt if I play him? I mean, and he would be
Yeah.
pretty friggin' accurate.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, a lot of the guys who do all these studies, I would imagine that they can, just roll it right on out. But I'd like
yeah,
to
it's
get
impressive
that list back
the,
together.
the time and effort people put into getting
Hmm.
those, small little advantages.
Yeah, but so I don't think he has the guy on the roster to um, continue and be successful. So hopefully he can find a move and get that done. Uh,
Yeah, I
yeah, he's got about 7 million, I guess, to play with. Um, I wouldn't imagine that there's going to be, just somebody hanging out in free agency. So, I guess it would just, have to be make a move and then, hope that this 4-1 start is going to be enough to keep you going until that guy's ready. But um, hoping that he can get that figured out because that just kind of sucks. Uh, I hate wild um, these wild injuries. It's kind of like that degenerative hip. I cannot stand that one.
Yeah, I hate the concussions too. Right, I know it's part of the game, but there are far too many concussions.
Hmm.
But that's just me on my soapbox.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got and with that, he's got Seattle right on his heels. They're both 4-1. That whole division actually is they're plus 500. So that's going to be a tough division.
Well, it's not official, but there are rumors that 67-year-old Aiden Hutchinson is going to come out of retirement to salvage the season. For his former franchise. And I think he retired, he's a Hall of Famer. He retired 2038, 2039, 25, somewhere around that. It was in the 40s. I mean, he played for
Mm-hmm.
forever, but I think he was our longest tenured player, to be honest with you. If I'm not mistaken. In fact, the dude was such a legend. He even played offensive line for him. So lots of rumors that
Wow.
he's coming back.
Interesting. Okay. That's funny. So any surprises on your end? I'm a little surprised that um, the scoring coming out of Dallas. I mean, we already talked about the Chargers, but I'm a little surprised with the scoring that's coming out of Dallas.
Well, Dallas is in a complete rebuild, though.
Hmm.
And that rookie quarterback, got rid of so much talent. This isn't unexpected to me. Yeah, Dallas. Much like New Orleans, this is just a soft reboot for Evan, and
Hmm.
he'll be right back in the mix. The one surprise, if you want me to talk about it,
All
is
right.
your team, right? Your team. I
Okay.
coming out coming out strong. There was a lot of speculation. Would Mo be the guy? Would what you were doing? I challenged you to go out and get another wide receiver and get a weapon for him. And here you sit at 3-2, man, and in a division that literally is yours for the taking. Um, I I'm I'm happy for you. I'm happy for Barber. I really would like to see him make a deep run because he's a guy I've always kind of followed his career from afar. So I don't want to say it's surprising because you're a good GM, but honestly, it was just kind of there was a lot of mystery surrounding your team. So
Yeah.
to see
Now,
you at 3-2 in a good position to literally take
mhm.
control of the division, I I was surprised about that, or no, pleasantly surprised, I should say. Um, I do feel very vindicated in seeing the Browns finally arrive. I've been saying it now for a while. I'm terrified of
Mm.
the Browns.
Yeah, you have been saying that.
I'm terrified of the Browns, and I believe the transition has begun. to domination. So the other nice surprise
Ooh.
is the team I played this week, the Colts. I knew it. I knew when he made that trade for my running back that was too much that he would make that player his identity. And and dude ran wild for me, last game. I think he had nearly 200 yards and got a lot of, receiving yardage too. And that's how I always looked at that guy, Conrad Reynolds. For me, when I drafted him, I was thinking he was going to be my version of Marshall Faulk. And I think
Mhm.
that's exactly who he can be for the Colts. Ironically, he should probably make him number 28 if he's not. So, Whack, if you're listening, man, change his number to 28 if it's not 28 already. Um, but no, I mean
Yes.
that's a
Yes.
that's a
600.
really nice
Yeah.
surprise because he had a top 5 pick last year. So
Yeah.
I
Three,
don't.
312 and one. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to win the bowl, but it's just neat to see him come out so strong early on. Um, I'm also happy to see. I'm trying to think of. You have the standings up, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
My shitty eyes.
No, you're good.
That's the,
Who are you looking
all
for?
right. No, I was just looking at what Green Bay. That it was Shane's in the mix again. That's no surprise. I'd like to see Detroit take another step. Um, I don't know. I just Washington. They've always been knocking on the door. Maybe this is their time. But Philly is the champs. I expect them to be involved. I don't know, man. I think it's really you got your couple that you knew were going to happen. You knew that we're going to be in the mix, and I don't know. I'm happy to see the Browns arrive for sure, even though I know it'll be at my demise. I've been waiting for it.
Yeah, because I looked at this guy and he's definitely slinging it around. That's for sure. Adams, he already has 21 passing touchdowns. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
that's just absurd.
yeah. Owen Marincic is, he has the champagne on ice, man. Trying to toast a la the '72 Dolphins. But I have a feeling that that record for touchdowns is going to get shattered this year.
Mm.
Um, so records are made to be broken. I thought
Yeah,
I thought
that
Flurry
is
was going to
absolutely.
do it the other day. Their last a few years ago, I actually was rooting for him to do it. So,
Hmm.
um, but I like that guy. I really, the poop stains are the poop stains, and while I dislike them, I hate them in real life. Right? Um, I,
Right.
absolutely root for them in here because of how terrible their history had been. Everything from poor cold heat to, uh, you know, poor Simon, who was, not really great until he went to his Raiders and watched
Right.
Zach's videos. So
Hmm.
it's nice to see
Yeah.
them be under some good leadership and with a plan. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. They're going to kick my ass this year.
Okay, well, like I said, I wanted to keep this is kind of where I wanted to be as far as like doing a mini and trying to keep that around 35, 45 minutes. So hopefully we're not too far over that and that way, we can, come back in a few days and then do these again. So this is kind of where I wanted to be. I know we didn't touch base on everyone, but when we keep them like this, we're not. Um, but hopefully we can catch you next time. I want to retouch with RZB during the mid session, so probably in about I guess maybe about 10 days. We should probably 10 days to 2 weeks. We should probably be at that midpoint, and then we can um, revisit this and see where we are if that's cool with you.
Yeah, man. I always try to find time, Willie. It's
Yeah.
and that's why I mean, even today we just jumped on rather, unscripted. Just hey, you got a half
Hmm.
an hour? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I think we have a good mix of GMs in the RZB. I uh, I think our best is yet to come, and yeah, I'm I'm
Yeah.
glad we're doing these type of things. I'm happy to talk APFL as well. If you want to chat about that, or if we're done, we're done. That's cool too.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I wanted to do that, but I'm going to respect where you were as far as you haven't seen the game yet. So yeah, I'm down with that. That's cool. I can touch base with the APFL most likely tomorrow, and that way we can kind of get the week one results, do a little preview for week two, and have that ready for Saturday. So that's not a problem at all.
cool, cool, cool.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys for hanging with us, and we'll see you next time.